Hi there, my name is Bethany Bernasconi. I'm the principal of Amherst Middle School. It is my proud honor to serve the communities of Amherst and Mount Vernon, and thank you for spending some time taking a look at our building and what a building upgrade would mean for us in terms of teaching and learning in our school. So we're incredibly proud of the teaching and learning that happens here every day at Amherst Middle School. But in order for students to learn and to really thrive in an environment, the first thing is that they have to have a comfortable and safe space to learn and to grow. And so many of the things that we're about to highlight in this video show how our teachers are facing challenges and facing some really tough situations within the building to still create those positive learning environments. Three major areas that I'd like you to consider throughout this video are one, the acoustics in the building, which are really negatively impacted by the movable walls throughout the building. The shapes and spaces of the classrooms and learning spaces throughout the building, either undersized or shaped as triangles or pizza slices, which really limit the amount of space that's available for students to learn. And then also the heating and cooling throughout the building, which really each classroom really has a really different classroom environment. These may seem like little things, but when students are comfortable in their learning environment, then we know that the teaching and the learning that's happening in our classrooms will really help them reach next heights. I'd like to open the video with Officer Sarah, who is our SRO here at the middle school, and talking a little bit about what this building facility would mean in terms of providing a safe and secure entrance to the building. Really looking to create a more welcoming area to welcome families in, but also provide an additional layer of security to our facilities here. Thank you.
Currently what we have with our entrance is we only have technically one set of doors stopping visitors from coming in. So for instance, what we have is when someone comes in to sign their student in or out, there is only one set of doors that's preventing them from getting into the main building. What we're finding is some students that are coming in from recess or whatever, or the doors are opening for them, and our visitors are able to come right in. With a newer design, we are going to add another door to this that will prevent someone from easily coming in. It's funneling the visitor into more of a challenge or numerous challenging points. They have to identify themselves. The office will be able to identify them, and they're not able to just come in freely into the building.
Welcome to the AMS nurse's office. Some of our challenges we have are space. We don't have enough space to separate the ill children from children with injuries. For example, during COVID, we had to use the stage across the hall to have children sit that were ill, so there wasn't any contact with the injured students. Also, we don't have a window, and it's so important for the air quality in the nurse's office when somebody's coming and they're struggling. It's nice to open up a window and get some air exchange. So important. And a larger closet space for storage. We are just really packed in there. And a little office for confidentiality, so we can have phone calls without, to ensure privacy. So, thank you so much.
Hi, I just wanted to share some of the things that we have during the day here at AMS in our wonderful classroom. One challenge that we have is while we're teaching in many of the classes, we need to keep the window open. We need circulation, which is great, but it's very loud with recess right below us. So sometimes that competes and there's a noise situation. And other times, the biggest issue I would say are the walls, which are not full walls, so we're always having to listen to other classes, but mostly I'm very loud, so most classes are having to listen to me and whatever I'm saying during the day on lectures and the Constitution and whatnot. I would say those are some of our bigger challenges. And the shape of the room is, we have a lot of students and the rooms are kind of shaped awkwardly up here, so makes it a little bit more challenging with desks set up.
And about the idea of a redesign. I remember coming in when my ceiling fell in just before the start of the school year. Happy birthday to me. So the idea of having a building that I know is safe for all students to learn in is a huge piece. Regular temperatures as opposed to like going from the Sahara and the saunas into the Arctic
Yes.
just walking through a classroom, that's awesome because the learning environment.
And not that I teach next to you, but having some really good acoustics.
I'm sorry,
where
what?
you didn't hear what the next person was
Yes.
doing. I mean, when my class is quiet and reading, the people next door, you can hear everything that they're saying to every single student, and that to me is impacting kids and their learning. So it would be really great to have some nice new acoustics.
I would agree with all of that, having no heat for 2 years. My heat is now fixed. But having space for the kids to work together, having team space. Right now, our kids on our team walk like a
Everywhere.
half mile down the hall, and just making sure that they're always on time. You know, that's an easy way to keep them together.
It's a lot easier to keep eyes on the kids and to connect as teachers. Like
Yes.
right now, it's so hard.
I
Like
know,
when
I'm on an
something
island
the
down there.
science,
when
I
something
always feel like-
happens to
I
try
always
and
feel
talk
like
to them.
science is left out because
Yeah.
they're way out on the other end of the building and we don't get to talk to them.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing
And I
how
don't know
many
if the
times the message
redesign is
doesn't
going to
make
allow
it.
that, but it'd just be nice to have the 7th grade all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make them feel some ownership to an area of the school that they can be proud of.
Hi, so having new renovations here at AMS would enable the 6th grade to, if we were in pods, say, we would be able to do more group activities, we could integrate special ed, we'd be able to integrate guidance, we'd all be together and you'd be with your team, so that it would lend itself to doing many different activities.
As you've heard our teachers describe, one of our biggest challenges is space. The way the classrooms are shaped and the number of students that need to fit into a classroom leaves a real lack of space for students to collaborate in a quiet environment. And so you'll see many of our teachers are having students collaborate and work in hallways. And while school's in session, it's not uncommon to see the hallways filled with students trying to find a quiet space to work or collaborate in teams.
Here at AMS, one of the things that we do is hands-on science, so we have lots of things going on. One of the challenges of having a smaller room, though, is that I don't always have the space for each child to have the space to create and be able to not push it to the side and be able to continue their creations over different class periods. So by having a bigger lab space, that would allow me to allow the kids to have more time to create and at their own space without having to refine their materials every single time as to where we had to stow it away. And also when we do these big labs like this, me not trying to pull every single thing I have out while still having spaces for children to sit throughout the day.
So would you say you have to spend a portion of your instructional time now creating space for kids to work?
Absolutely, yeah, because we have to clear this space and then find space for it on the sidebars, and we're constantly trying to find where we end up putting supplies and having space for kids who bring in supplies as well, trying to find the storage space for that because we have 90 kids on our team. So 90 kids worth of materials and projects can be a lot in this small square footage.
Throughout the building, you'll see the need for upgrades and improvements and even just repair. Our PA system doesn't work properly throughout the building, and in many places the roof continues to leak despite the best efforts of our incredible crew of buildings and facilities staff. So when classrooms are leaking or you see leaks in the hallway, all of those negatively contribute to a learning environment and are obstacles that teachers have to work around in order to provide great learning experiences for our kids. You'll also notice that windows, the seals are broken. Several of the windows throughout the building are fogged over, and that in general, many spaces are being used for multiple purposes. The staff room also holds laminators. The office conference room is also where you'll find the office workspace, so the refrigerator and microwave and all of those facilities in there as well. We're using all of these different spaces and rooms to as many different capacities as possible, but as a result, none of it is very efficient.
Hi, I'm Diana Plank. I'm one of the art teachers here at AMS, and this is why I need a redesign for the art room. This backspace here is usually hands off to the kids because I have 2 kilns and tools, but now that I have a pottery class, a ceramic class, I want them to be able to use the wheels, and I've got a wheel here in between my island and the kiln. They don't use it when the kiln's on, and then they have to be 2 here, and then this obstructs kids going to and from the sink. I've had a lot of mess and spillage lately. I don't have space to store my projects, so I have to do small stuff, and I'm constantly rotating things out. I don't have the wall space for instructional materials, and the kids have a really hard time moving about my room, which creates dangerous situations.
So does the current layout of this facility limit what you're able to do with your art students?
Yes. a lot.
Our music rooms for both band and chorus are significantly undersized and also lack storage. So you'll see that all of the different instruments and different materials that need to be in the same space with students, further reducing the available space for classes to actually be held.
Hey there, we're here in the Learning Specialist's office and we just wanted to show you a little bit about the space. So currently in this office we have 6 desks for the 6 learning specialists here at the school. We also have a combined space where sometimes we're pulling kids and having them come into the room. But it's difficult when I think we were on somebody has a meeting and we also have kids that are trying to work in here, and then we have to go find an alternative space and there's not always rooms available, which makes it really difficult for us to do.
Yeah, I think being in this one space, even though there's 4 grades, we're all kind of separated from our teams, so our teams have to come find us, we have to go find our teams. And the other thing is with this wall, sometimes it can be rather noisy. This is a classroom right here, so when we have meetings and that sort of thing, we can hear them, and vice versa. So I think due to the privacy issues with meetings, a lot of that stuff, I think a more private space would be beneficial.
And there's only one phone in here for 6 of us, so anytime we have to make a phone call, we have to go find an alternative space. So being able to have our own space to make those calls would be really, really nice for us.
Many of our interventions are happening wherever we can put them. So rooms without windows, rooms where we've constructed false walls in order to have more teachers and students able to access a space, but none of it really set up to be an optimal design for learning for all of our students. Our teachers are doing an amazing job, and so much more could be done for our students with adequate facilities. This concludes our brief tour of the middle school and our facilities. I hope that you found this informative and got to take a peek behind the exterior of the school to learn a little bit more about the challenges that we face in the middle school and what a really redesign of the building would mean for teaching and learning here. We're excited to partner with the community in this process. We're excited to see where the next step is with your students, and it is our honor to take care of your students each and every day. Thank you for entrusting them to us. And please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, or if you'd like to come take a tour of the facility yourself, please just reach out and we'd be happy to arrange something. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.